back at the swing of things, getting up early, joining you here on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com or Hit That Line Now app, and, of course, across all of our video channels. 6 a.m., bright and early. 2.5 hours of Arkansas game day. Happy to have you this morning as we continue on. Big C and me, we've got a couple good guests lined up. Chuck Oliver, 680 The Fan, the Chuck Oliver Show across college football will be joining us coming up. We're also going to get a chance to talk to our buddy Clay Henry at 7:30. So Chuck's at 6:30, Clay's at 7:30, and you're anytime you want. 877-377-6963. Starkville, Mississippi, the site of today's game between the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Mississippi State Bulldogs. The good thing is we don't have to just talk about that. We can talk about what happened last night inside of Bud Walton Arena. Very impressive exhibition win against the Kansas Jayhawks. I was surprised. I think if you watched it or you listened to it across our ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com airwaves, that you were surprised too. They look good. Now, I don't want to jump the gun like I did last year, which I very much did after the Purdue win, but I like the team. And you didn't have Jonas Adu last night. Now, albeit they didn't have Hunter Dickinson. They didn't have Ryland Griffin. There was another player I think they were missing that's in their rotation as well, whose name's escaping me. But that was something last night. If you watched it on the SEC Network or you listened to Chuck and Z, it was fun, and it was surprising. It really did surprise me. I didn't have them beating Kansas last night. They didn't just beat them. They tarred and feathered them pretty good. I mean, that was a pretty solid performance for your Arkansas Razorback basketball team, and hopefully it's a sign of things to come. I had some texts last night saying, well, they lose to Mississippi State today. It's basketball season. We at least got a basketball team worth something. We'll have to wait and see. Now, on the Mississippi State game, you cannot lose this game today. The must-win category, the must-win label is used from time to time, sometimes incorrectly, sometimes correctly. State's 1-6. They have one of the worst defenses in not just the SEC, not just the Power 5, but all of college football. It is not a game you should lose by any stretch of the imagination. So, that being said, you got to figure out a way to win. Taylor Green hopefully is a little healthier. Don't think you're going to get Jaquinta Jackson today based on this.
Probably very questionable for Saturday's game.
Listed as doubtful on the SEC injury report on Wednesday. So who are you going to rely on? That would be Mr. Braylon Russell, who Coach Pittman has talked about, even dating back to freshman year.
He was a freshman. So he's a freshman in high school. He was 6'2", 225. And I didn't really know who he was. I mean, he was 14, or whatever, And he ran 4.53. We offered him a scholarship, And later on, one of the coaches or somebody, they were going, how many freshmen, have you offered? I said, every damn one of them that's 6'2", 220 ran 4.53.
That was a good story from Coach on Sam Pittman Live with Chuck earlier this week. I do enjoy listening to that. Try to listen to Pittman any chance I get when it comes to what he's talking about with this football team. And occasionally he'll weave in his story, weave in a part of his past like he did with Dan Hampton, the camp he attended in 1978. That's cool. He's got a big one today. Last week, it was more about Bobby Petrino's offense. I mean, Sam Pittman got some flack, and deservedly so. That was another putrid home performance that just didn't make any sense, which was really frustrating. But hopefully they bounce back today in Starkville, a place that you sometimes sleepwalk in. You've lost, I believe, 9 of the last 12. Not in Starkville, but against Mississippi State. So it hasn't gone necessarily according to plan. All right, Big C, what did you think? Because we just got a text from David and Alma. The heck with the football. How about the basketball team? We look like a big team. What'd you think of that basketball performance last night?
Beyond my expectations. I mean, I knew we were going to have talent on the floor last night. I didn't know how they would mesh together. I mean, they've never played together in a big-time game against the number one team. Yes, they were missing a couple guys. We were missing one. I know at least one. And, man, I'll tell you what, the way they played defense, they were making shots. I mean, the recipe's there. I mean, you see what this team is capable of if they put it all together. And was it a perfect game? No, but man, I mean, you never really felt like the game was going to get away from them. They were kind of in control of it, and they did what I believe you should expect them to do just based on the players you have this year. And I know it's an exhibition game, and we saw last year not to get too excited about an exhibition game, but for it to be the first time they played together and looked that good. I don't think the moment was too big for any of them. I think they just went out there and did what they did, and their skills took over.
I think what impressed me the most last night, and you can jump in this basketball, football conversation. We're going to talk about both throughout the next 2.5 hours. 877-377-6963 is defensively, they were all over Kansas. Again, just DeJuan Harris, who's one of the best point guards in college basketball, who's a 6-year player. Think about that, a 6th-year player. And he was outdone by DJ Wagner. He was outdone by freshman Boogie Flan, who had a fantastic game last night.
Flan uses a screen and buries a 3 from the top of the circle. Boogie's got 20.
He was the one that Seth Greenberg interviewed after the game. We're going to hear from John Calipari as well in this broadcast in the next few hours. But thoroughly impressive young man from New York that really looked good the first time Razorback fans have gotten to watch it. And how about that atmosphere? So I got to give I'll get on the athletics department when they screw things up, and I'll give them credit when they do things right. They gave out these wristbands. I know what they are because I got one in a Morgan Wallen concert in Tampa. Christian, it's these wristbands that light up simultaneously in rhythm. That looked really good on TV last night. Looked really good. So your atmosphere is already what it is at Bud Walton Arena. It's awesome. And then they added kind of that ambiance, added a little extra, which looked great. And John Schriffen, who I don't know if it was his first time there or not. I know Greenberg's there. I know Jimmy Dykes, of course, has been there many a times. They were really impressed with the Arkansas atmosphere. Again, on October the 25th, Big C.
Yeah, that really impressed me. You know, and what we had a bunch of students camp out
Camp Bud
the day before the game. I mean,
started Wednesday, Big C.
That just goes to show you the excitement level. And I heard last night they said season tickets went on sale or sold out 24 days after they went on sale. And that's what you want. That's the excitement level that they have for this team. Cal understands, and you know, he's one of those guys that kind of puts everything into perspective for you, not to let you get too high, too low, but I think he'll even tell you he was pleased by the way his team played, just because that was their first game together really, and the way they played defensively, that was probably the most impressive. We knew these guys could shoot, and that's another breath of fresh air that we've got some real shooters on this team, and they defend. And
he didn't really have John L. Davis do that much last night, Christian.
He did not have a great game.
And I thought he was going to be the alpha dog in this team. And there's plenty of time again. It's one exhibition game, but it was more about the freshman and the stud sophomore. Little background on DJ Wagner, who we're getting texted about. Austin from Scott County thinks that Boogie and DJ were unbelievable last night. DJ was the highest ranked point guard coming out of the class and one of the best players in the country in Lexington last year in terms of his recruiting ranking. He looked awesome first part of the season, got an ankle injury, and just wasn't the same player after that. So he has a little bit of chip on his shoulder that he wants to live up to his own expectations. And I thought last night was a great display. He's really worked on his shot in the offseason, it looks like. And then he's also still got that driving ability and playmaking ability. So you're not short of playmakers on this basketball team. I'm curious to see what it's like when Jonas Adu is back in the lineup, how they shake things up. He's the guy that, and there's other guys banged up, but he was the guy that you really want to see as a first team All-SEC defender and first teamer or second teamer. So he's a talented player. Thought he was very complimentary of his teammates last night when they let him on the television broadcast. But you at least got an initial start, an initial jump on this basketball season in a good way. Boogie Flan, that's the text. That comes from JT in Hot Springs. He also liked what he saw from the true freshman and is what he's needed, is what this team has needed for years, in his opinion.
Well, the fact that he's just a true freshman and the way he played with poise and like he was in control of everything, and it was just nice to see. And I agree with the text, JT, that's what we've needed. I agree. We need somebody that's a floor general, that's in control of the game, that can pass, shoot, take it to the hole. I mean, he can do it all.
All right, we're going to take a break here on Arkansas Game Day. Really appreciate Robert, Elizabeth, and Matthew and everyone over there at the Stadium Shop on Razorback for helping us all season long with our pregame program. They have the largest selection of Razorback merchandise south of the North Pole. It does not get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. I got my Razorback Kinley, hats, polos. I've got a lot of things. I've probably spent over $1,000 the last 2 years with Robert, Elizabeth, and them. Visit their website, shoponrazorback.com. That's shop on Razorback, SHOPPE on Razorback.com. And by Sawyer's Sunrooms. Sawyer's, everything for outside of the house. Sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, and windows, including decorative concrete. Visit them online at Sawyers-Sunrooms.com. That's Sawyers-Sunrooms.com. A break. Come back, talk more football. Chuck Oliver coming up at the bottom of the hour.
Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. And by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Whether you're planting a tree in your backyard or trenching at a construction site, a call to 811 helps prevent dangerous damage to underground utilities and is the first step in keeping yourself and your community safe. Hitting a line can knock out service to your home and neighborhood, resulting in fines, damages, serious injury, or worse. Safety is in your hands. Call 811 before you dig. It's easy, it's free, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Black Hills Energy.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Do you need help with your next project? Mentor's Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Mentor's Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at mentorslumber.com. Mentor's Lumber True Value.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. Westart Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact Westart Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drain, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. Westart Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call Westart Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day. Brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Andrew Armstrong, 25 yards. How did he get that wide open?
And by golly, give me those dogs, Chuck. Oh, yeah.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day 5 hours before kickoff. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
We had the cowbells all day yesterday, and I said, I can't take it no more. I think our kids understand now after Tuesday all day that there's going to be cowbells, and so we just practice noise today.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
You guys ready for this, sir, later on today?
I'm with Sam. I don't think I could go a full week of practice hearing cowbells.
Hear that cowbells.
That would drive me nuts.
Oh, we welcome you back into Arkansas Game Day. Big C and me till 8:30. Then we pass the headsets to our friends Phil Elson, Rick Schaefer, and Gino Bell before they pass them to Chuck Quinn. I guess Gino will keep his. Arkansas Game Day rolls on. If you want to jump in, talk football or basketball, it's not. I said it's been a while since we've got to discuss both on the pregame program. Jump in 877-377-6963. We've got a couple texts this morning. Haven't gotten calls just yet, but we did get some this week.
Education prosperity. We cannot put two good games together. We cannot. Let me tell you something, Bobby Petrino. You know why our running games went away? Aylen Green, a pocket passer. That's a recipe for a turnover waiting to happen.
How many hogs are afraid of cowbells? I mean, I just think when we go down there, we got to let them know the boys are back in town.
I like Sam Pittman, y'all, okay? But if you don't beat me, the Mississippi State game, then to me it's a must win because I don't see Arkansas beating Ole Miss or Texas or Missouri.
So those were a few selected calls that Big C threw together this week. Always does a great job with that. Just kind of explaining how the fan base feels. And not everyone that calls in necessarily feels the same way that texts in or doesn't say anything for that matter. Just listens to our program and it's just an Arkansas Razorback fan. But this is a pivotal game. A pivotal game. Sam Pittman knows that. And he talked about it this week.
I don't know how many SEC schools you're playing right now that aren't, you know what I mean? Just depending on if they're lower to the 25 or top to the 1. It's the league, and we're damn proud to be part of it. How important it is, I think they're all important. To go get another road win would be big for us. Get to another victory, get to 3-2 in the conference would be really big. And we certainly want that. We need that. We'll work towards that because, as you just said, you still have Ole Miss, Texas, Missouri, Louisiana Tech. Now, 3 of those are at home, but this road game is big for us, and we usually play pretty good on the road.
They do, but that doesn't necessarily mean they win. We saw that on display last year. Now, Mississippi State is not the University of Alabama. They're not LSU. and they're not Ole Miss either. But this is still a game that if you don't show up, Mississippi State's going to get their first SEC win of the year.
I know they're starting a freshman, and the one thing I've seen out of Mississippi State the past 2 or 3 weeks is they can score pretty fast, and they know how to move the ball. So what that tells me is we need to run the ball and kind of keep it out of their hands because they do have quick strike ability, and that's one thing about them that kind of concerns me a little bit. They've got big play, and we're susceptible to a big play here and there. But I think if we just kind of keep it out of their hands and run the ball, I think we can dominate lines of scrimmage, and kind of just play keep away because you're going to have a lot of points or a good amount of points to win this game. But you want to limit their possessions.
Well, you mentioned the time of possession. Arkansas lost that. I believe it was 38 minutes for LSU, and the Razorbacks only managed like 21 something.
Yeah.
So that was an area last week where you got dominated throughout the game, and maybe that was the biggest statistic because you look at the other games, the Razorbacks have won and competed win. Oftentimes they've won. I don't have every game in front of me, but I think they've won most, if not all, of the time and possession battles against opponents this season. Maybe the exception A&M. I'd have to go back and look. But that's because Arkansas can control the line of scrimmage. They can run the football. And I think they only managed 30-some-odd yards last week against LSU. If you do that against Mississippi State, which there's no reason to believe that you can't run the football on these guys based on their statistics. I mean, they are dreadful defensively in the Southeastern Conference thus far. But the thing you have to look at is you don't know about Rodney Hill. DeQuinton Jackson doesn't sound like he's going to play based on Pittman's comments. And what's Taylon Green's full health? I mean, are you willing to put him out in situations like you had earlier this year? I don't know. That's just a question that I think a lot of fans are asking heading into this football game at 11:45.
Yeah, and, back to the line of scrimmage thing, that's where this game starts to me. And, Mississippi State's 1-6 for a reason, but they've had a really tough schedule. I think Arkansas is more than capable of going on the road and getting a win. I do think Taylon Green, I don't know that he necessarily needs to run a ton, but he does need to keep that option open today, and hopefully he's a little bit better than he was against LSU. I know they were probably trying to keep him from running as much as they could against LSU today. I don't know if you can do that. I think you need to present a lot of different options against that Mississippi State defense, which is pretty suspect. I think there will be opportunities for Taylon to take off and maybe some designed runs here and there. And I would like to see, some of our receivers kind of start making some plays, some big plays. I think there'll be plays in the secondary that you can make against this Mississippi State defense. But one thing you can't have today, and that's pretty much any game, is you can't have a fumble. You can't have these turnovers that give Mississippi State a short field, give them momentum, because momentum's a crazy thing, especially at home with those Cowbells. They can get rolling pretty quick. You just kind of want to keep your hand on the pulse, so to speak, and just control the game. They're going to score points. I think we'll score points too, but the better team usually wins at line of scrimmage, and they usually can kind of control the game, running the ball, and I think that's what Arkansas is going to have to do. I don't think a shootout type game necessarily favors Arkansas.
Let's see what happens later on 11:45. Speaking of rolling, our buddy Chuck Oliver's rolling. He's up and at him this morning. Already texted me. He's excited to pop on. Also got a text from Hog Wild and Van Buren. Arkansas, like you're saying, Big C, just needs one of those 9-minute drives to open up the game. C, the Tennessee drive, to put the onus on the Mississippi State offense if the Razorbacks were to score. If I was Arkansas, I would take the ball and see if I win the toss and do that. I bet Mississippi, well, I don't know if Mississippi State, I don't know what Levy's thinking. Levy actually might take the ball if they win the toss. But we'll have to wait and see. Again, pregame coverage for the next 2 hours, and then we'll hand it over to Learfield. You've also got postgame coverage. Myself, Matt Jones, Colton Little will take you through that. But coming up, we're going to talk with Chuck Oliver, 680 The Fan in Atlanta, the Chuck Oliver Show, talking college football 365 days a year. That's what he does, man. He does 6-7 hours of radio today, every day, every weekday. I don't know how he does it, but he's going to join us next. Stay with us here on Arkansas Game Day, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and Sawyer's Sunrooms.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey and Hole Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey and Hole understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey and Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
When a Newmeyer's involved, you know you're going to get great food and have an awesome time. Hey, Ty Richardson for Newmeyer's Rib Room and Beer Garden. They've been whipping up the best ribs, tamales, and smoked wings for years. Rib Room has live bands for you through the month of October and game day specials. For to-go orders, call 479-494-7427. Newmeyer's Rib Room and Beer Garden, located at 424 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day. Brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
It's Arkansas wins in overtime.
You heard it here first. Give me the hog chub, full pig suey. You hear?
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
anybody in the SEC is a dangerous team. Like I told you, like no matter what week you play, 1-6, it don't matter the record. We treat every team the same. Undefeated, haven't won any games. It's going to be a dogfight no matter who you play.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Let's go to the Eastern Time Zone. Welcome in our friend Chuck Oliver, 680 The Fan. Also the Chuck Oliver Show heard nationwide. Chuck, good morning. I know we got a little time with you. I appreciate you making some. You're a busy man. What's the college football game you're most interested in today in the Southeastern Conference?
Oh, that LSU Texas A&M thing, man. And I am at the happiest place on earth. I'm at Harris Cherokee in the Caesar Sportsbook. So, yeah, I can actually do something about what we talk about. LSU and Texas A&M, absolutely. I have been on LSU since about week 3, and I had to keep in mind we can only learn so much about UCLA, South Alabama, et cetera. But I've seen enough from them I thought that they were kind of on the outside rail. And last week, to me, I was really impressed with LSU. Arkansas's pass defense is not bad. They haven't been getting strafed. And the fact that LSU was able to go up there and kind of stretch that thing out and not let the Hogs run the ball, it's a different thing going to College Station this week, I know. But here's the thing about the Aggies. Not all of those 5-stars left. Like some of them did. Walter Nolan left. A lot of other guys left. Not all of them left, and they actually got some guys in. Have y'all watched Nick Scorton this year?
Dog.
He is frightening, like hide under this table sort of scary. And he might be the third best guy on that defensive front. So this is a tall task for Garrett Nussmeier and them tonight, and they have to be able to run the ball more consistently and continue to protect him. But otherwise, that's the game to be. That's the main event, man. That's the big stage.
Chuck, am I understanding this correctly? Are you in Vegas? Did I wake you up at 4:30 this morning?
Oh no, bro. I'm in Cherokee, North Carolina.
Oh, okay, North Carolina. When I heard Caesars, okay, and I
no, brother. We broadcast here once a month, and so I was up here last night, and so I'm about to go do some have a full day of fun in the sports book, man. The big TVs and the chairs and all of it. You know.
Let's go. All right, so Nussmeier, this is a kid. I don't know where you had him on your SEC ballot at SEC Media Days, but he wasn't top 3 for me. How impressed has he been so far? And I think we unfortunately saw it firsthand in Fayetteville last week.
He's unbelievable, and the quick release. He's got wheels all of a sudden too, and he may start exploring those. Not like Jaden Daniels, 7 yards to carry, 1,200 yard sort of wheels. But Nussmeier has really impressed me. Isn't it funny how little we know about a guy after just kind of watching him in the bowl game, and that's it. I watched Nico just collide around that field against a really good Iowa defense that had a bunch of their guys playing. And I was like, that's it. That's what it's going to be with Nico. No, that's not what it is with Nico. That is what it is with Garrett Nussmeier, though, man. He doesn't have all his wide receivers yet. They're still waiting to get Chris Hilton back, which nobody knows Chris Hilton's name. He's the guy who was supposed to be the peel the top off the secondary guy that changes everything. And they really do. Now, I don't know if this is true. They really do believe when they get Hilton back, it'll open up the running game some too. So they're still waiting to get him back on the outside.
Oh, joy. That means LSU's going to be better offensively after what they did against the Razorbacks this past week. Let's talk about the team in Fayetteville. They're in Starkville today, a place that they have not fared as well the last decade or so. You got to give credit to Jeff Levy, Michael Van Buren, that offense. I know they're 1-6, but they've at least started clicking a little bit. What kind of task do they have with that freshman quarterback today, Chuck?
All right. How good are the Hogs going to be at either spying or playing shell so everybody can look forward and keep their eyes on him? It's Michael Van Buren or bust for that offense right now. So, and that kid's got a rocket. Here's the thing. You're right about Levy. That team hadn't quit on him. We were all right when Shapen went down. Well, they're going to keep losing. They have kept losing, but they hadn't been getting blown out, and they hadn't quit. They've got an answer in Van Buren. Think about his first 2 starts on the road at number 1 Texas, on the road at number 1 Georgia. I mean, it's like or number 5 Georgia. It was an unbelievable performance if you just drop him into a fishbowl. 3 touchdowns each start, the past 2, and it's a really impressive resume that the kid's putting up, and he doesn't have a lot of talent around him. I like Kevin Coleman, the kid on the outside they use on special teams as well. He's a field flipper. Like, he's a legit SEC high-octane guy. But for the most part, our idea about Mississippi State and having 5, 6, 7 guys on the perimeter who can all burn you, that's not what this team is.
We're talking with Chuck Oliver, 680 The Fan, the Chuck Oliver Show nationwide here on Arkansas Game Day. Chuck, let's look at Arkansas offensively. Weren't able to run the ball last week. State is putrid in so many defensive categories. Does Arkansas's offense get back on track today?
Absolutely. What was it, like 35 or 38 yards, whatever it was, against LSU last week, which surprised me. But you're right. Mississippi State, here's what I think the Hogs do today. They eat. They line up, and they just hammer it at Mississippi State's front. I think part of it is because, and y'all know this better than me, but Taven Green, he is still not his normal just fly around the field self. He's still banged up a little bit, isn't he?
Yeah, it sounds like it, and based on them not running him a lot and him not taking it, at least just from the outside looking in, they might not say that publicly, but I think you can just kind of read between the lines, Chuck.
Absolutely. So watching him, I'm like, I know what the kid can do, and I know what he's kind of not fully doing right now. So I think there's a lot of hand the ball off, carry out your fake, and I think that they can win. They can ride that to a dub. There's Louisiana Tech still on the schedule, right? And then there's a couple of others that aren't as gettable as Louisiana Tech. So, like, this is a bowl team, isn't it? I mean, this is what it's supposed to turn out to be, which is fantastic because, like, in July, I remember talking, everybody said the same thing. I love Sam Pittman, and then he's going to get fired. And that doesn't have to be the way it turns out.
Yeah, if they make a bowl, I don't see them making a change. But like you said, Louisiana Tech is one thing. Texas, Ole Miss, Missouri, that's a separate thing entirely. Georgia goes into Austin, Texas, a team that Razorbacks get to play on November the 16th, and gets a massive win. I know that game was like 2 touchdowns and a point, but it really wasn't that close. Is that more about Texas, or is that more about Georgia maybe waking up a little bit?
You know what? I had all those storylines ready about it's a little too soon for Texas or too much too early, whatever. They weren't ready for the big stage. And as I'm writing all this stuff down, I'm like, yeah, none of that's true. I watched them going to Tuscaloosa last year, set Bryant Denny on fire, and then get on their bus and go home. I watched them go into Ann Arbor and jump on that team with a pack of bees. Like, they've gone on the road into the biggest houses in college football. And I'm like, no, it wasn't the stage. I was like, this is Georgia's defense. They executed. They chose last Saturday night, all right, we're going to execute fine. Y'all watch Georgia the first half of this season? That secondary has been horrid in tackling. They haven't gotten the consistent pressure. Mikael Williams is now back from his injury mostly. And now he's got a bye before Florida, so he should be 100%. But he was mostly back from his injury. He got in the backfield. Jalen Walker got 3 sacks, and he could have had more. He got a sack against Banks, that big All-American left tackle, and he didn't give up sacks. Like, it was just a night where I think they all had their existence as men questioned. And here's another factor. And I talked about this leading up to the game. I said, I can't tell you Georgia's going to win, but I tell you who I always like. Give me the SEC elite team, not the 500s, not the middle, but if there's an elite team in the SEC that has to listen to a week of you can't win, I was like, give me that team. Give me that team.
Kirby played that up, didn't he, after the game, Chuck? He's like, no one on your network thought we could win.
Oh. Yeah, he can no longer look and say, hey, guys, I don't have time. I don't pay attention to that. Like, yeah, you do. Absolutely, you pay attention to all that. So that was a funny comment from him afterwards, and he had it at the ready. But it was true. I was like, I remember going back, and where this really crystallized for me was the Auburn-Florida State Rose Bowl. And I was like, we've got an elite SEC team that has to listen to a month of you can't win. I was like, I'll take the points. Thank you. And that's kind of one of my sports rules now. If you're an elite level SEC or Big Ten team and everybody's saying you can't win, well, I'll take the points that week. And so it worked last week for Georgia just because they executed on defense. Carson Beck, I still can't explain his season fully, but I will tell you, Kirby had a comment after the game. Did y'all see this one? He said, our inability to catch the football is almost comical. And I was like, okay, I have to go back and chart this a little bit. So I went back. Dylan Bell had 2 drops. London Humphreys had a horrible drop. He had another one where he probably didn't complete his route, and it looked like Carson Beck had a horrid miss. I think it was actually on Humphreys.
Yeah.
Like all of them have been bad. Lawson Lucky, the pass wasn't perfect, but he could have stretched and got it, and he didn't. It turned into a pick. So there's a lot more to it than just Carson Beck throwing all these interceptions, but he is throwing all these interceptions. That's something you got to fix.
Chuck, we'll leave it there. Enjoy your time in Cherokee, North Carolina, and hopefully we have a great slate of SEC games today.
All right, brother. Call me any other Saturday, brother. I really appreciate the invite. Thank you.
You got it. That is our buddy Chuck Oliver, 680 The Fan. You ever heard of, I'm going to be honest, Christian, I guess I just missed when he said Cherokee, North Carolina. You ever heard of Cherokee, North Carolina?
No.
Okay.
I know there's a Cherokee, Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
But-
Apparently, I guess that's the small town Vegas out there. I know. I know Pinehurst is a big golf course facility and set up out there. I'm not as familiar. The only time I've been to Charlotte is flying in the airport, but I guess we gotta add Cherokee. I think it was about 2 or 3 hours from Atlanta, where Chuck does radio and lives on a daily basis. But evidently, that's where he's at today.
Interesting. Yeah, that would have been tough in Vegas. I know Tommy's done it before this early, but
I've done it too. It's not fun. When I would wake up at 3:30, would wake up at 2. It was just when you're pushed back, it's not as fun. We're gonna take a break. We got a text from Bill in Northeast Arkansas, who was thoroughly impressed with Boogie Flan last night. Not just Boogie Flan, but this Razorback basketball team as a whole. I don't care if you want to talk football. I don't care if you want to talk basketball. Heck, we can talk about Game 1 of the World Series last night. Walk-off grand slam. Freddie Freeman, Game 1. Hopefully it stays that type of game.
I actually caught that grand slam. That was insane.
I mean, is there a more dramatic way to end a baseball game than a walk-off grand slam? Wow. Unbelievable start to the World Series this year. So we got plenty to talk about with you on Arkansas Game Day. We'll roll on next.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyer's has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyer's and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyer's, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Arkansas Game Day.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
This is Ricky Young with Mr. Cabbage Head and the Screaming Radishes, vegetable-related rock for a healthier lifestyle. When we have any problem at all, we call 782-8940.
It's a great time to take advantage of York Factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job.
But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
The perfect hot tub is waiting for you at Burton Pools and Spa's Warehouse Clearance. Whether you're seeking relaxation or quality time with family, we've got you covered with Hot Spring Hot Tubs, the world's best-selling brand. Over 100 hot tubs in stock, ready for delivery and on sale. Hot tubs starting at $39.99 and payments as low as $58 a month. Visit our hot tub warehouse clearance in Springdale, Greenland, or Fort Smith today. Burton Pools and Spas. We don't just sell hot tubs, we build long-term relationships.
October is Slingshot Month at Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith. We have a great selection of new Polaris Slingshots in stock, some with financing available as low as 1.99% for 36 months and 0 down payment with approved credit. Fall is the perfect time to get out and see the natural state in the new Slingshot from Wheeler Power Sports. Serving all over Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma. WheelerPowersports.com. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Colorworks Paint, Body and Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day. Brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Williams, could he do it again? Yes, touchdown Arkansas. His fourth rushing touchdown of the half.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day 5 hours before kickoff. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Huge part, obviously, of our offense is running the football, and that's been a huge emphasis this week for us, and will be great for us this weekend.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more touchdown. Arkansas wins.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
It's that initial touchdown you heard from Raleigh Williams, 58-42 in Fayetteville, 2016, if I remember that correctly.
That was the best memory I have in just of a game in Starkville, because I mean we were running the ball. It was nice.
Yeah, and hopefully Arkansas is able to have some type of offensive success like that. Don't know if it's going to happen, but yeah. And that game, like you said, was in Starkville, because the game before, I forgot, Brandon Allen, Dak Prescott went toe-to-toe, and Brett Bielema decided to tone it back and elected to go for a field goal. Cole Headland either got it blocked or missed it, and Arkansas ended up losing that game when they should have won. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about something positive, like Arkansas basketball last night. Arkansas wins. If you haven't heard, maybe you're just waking up this morning, maybe you missed it last night, 85-69 over the number one team. Exhibition, I know. Here's Cal's thoughts on the game.
Look, they had two of their better players out. So let's not do like triple backflips. I mean, but what I liked was we really guarded the ball pretty good. For a team that's not been together long, for a team that has practiced with 5 guys for probably 2 weeks, we played against GAs. To be able to go out and do, we only had 3 turnovers at half. We had 10 in the second half. How the hell do you have 10 in the second half? And a bunch of them came in a stretch where, like, for no reason. Why would you do that? We even had our quarterback throw the interception and run down the field and say stuff to the wide receiver so everybody knew it was his fault, not mine. We had one of those today. Like, what? It's your fault. You threw the ball. Don't blame him.
There are some issues with this basketball team, and those will showcase themselves throughout the season. I don't know if Cal even wanted to win this game to set expectations even higher. But what you did for the second consecutive year, one under Muss, one under Cal, is you set a tone early on this season for Arkansas basketball. You'll go to TCU for the exhibition game, and then you'll also have several marquee matchups, like going to Miami, playing Baylor and Dallas. My dad's excited. He's going to that game. Probably going to watch Baylor beat Arkansas again, unfortunately. Then you've got, you don't think so?
Nah.
I like the early confidence. I am not as confident for that game.
Be confident in this team. I think every game we can win.
I think, like, when you look at the talent on that roster, and your best defensive player, and Jonas Adu was injured last night. He's your rim protector. You had Trevin and Zvonimir Ivicic doing the majority of the rebounding and the blocking shots and the rim protection last night. But there's a lot to like about this basketball team. I was thrilled where they were defensively last night. They hounded a sixth-year point guard last night in Juwan Harris. He had a good game. He ended up 11 of 7. He was their best player by far. 26 points overall, 4 of 5 from 3, 2 turnovers. I thought it was more than that, to be honest, but I thought they did a good job on him. Boogie Flan, DJ Wagner, and others. They've got several guys. I thought even John L. Davis, who I don't know if he was known for hounding defensively at FAU, I thought he played some good defense last night. I think he knows if he doesn't play defense, even as good as he is offensively, he's not going to get on the floor this season. There is a lot to like about this basketball team. As Bill in Northeast Arkansas likes Boogie Flan, we've got a couple Boogie Flan texts. I think the cool thing about this squad, Big C, is there's going to be games where different guys go off each game. Like they have, they got some talent that it's not going to be the same guy every game, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And the box score last night shows that. You know, DJ Wagner, 24, Boogie Flan with 22, Zvonimir Ivicic with 18, Carter Knox, Adu Thiero. They've got the ability to turn it on. We know John L. Davis. And Trevin Brazil, man, I liked what I saw from him. He was more aggressive. He wasn't timid, and he wasn't jacking up a bunch of threes. He was getting kind of dirty in the paint. And he had 5 points, but he did a lot of things well last night. He was getting rebounds. And I think that's a big key to this team's success, believe it or not, is if Trevin Brazil can keep that up all season.
5 rebounds like you're talking about. Did not attempt a three-pointer, which a good chunk of last season. His best game against Duke, he hit 4. And there's not – I don't want to malign three-pointers because Big Z hit a couple last night, but you don't necessarily want your big men out there 24/7. You want them banging in the paint. I know Jonas Adu is going to be the guy that does that a good chunk of the season, but it's a combination, and it turned to more of the norm with Trevin last year, and that was one of the things that I guess him and Cal talked about, and Cal spoke on the broadcast last night that not just him, but also Big Z, he wants his big guys inside. Now you can, as we saw, Big Z mix it up, but he also wants the guys to really improve and get down low and do stuff like that. You've got guard play. Also like what I saw from the wings. When you look at Carter Knox, who played well defensively, you look at Billy Richmond, who's just long. You look at Adu Thiero, who's just a defensive nightmare at 6'8", 6'9", can play the 3 or 4. I mean, you've got some pieces that are really, really talented on that side of the basketball, and then how they figure it out offensively, the chemistry. Strong start for the season. Hopefully a good sign for things to come for this Arkansas basketball team.
Slobberhog looks good last night.
And that's another element, Christian. The Slobberhog did look really good on display for Arkansas. I thought that was a great – I don't know how many people watched the SEC Network last night, but there's pictures, there's videos and stuff. I thought last night was a great opening night for Arkansas basketball. I really did, and hopefully that's, a good sign for things to come as we continue on this basketball season. Back to football. We got plenty to discuss more. We're going to hear from Sam Pittman this week. Clay Henry, going to hear from him in about 30 minutes. Decided to chat with Clay. He's got a good column up right now on hitthatline.com, brought to you by the Arkansas Game and Fish. If you want to read that, it's a good pre-read before the game later on at 11:45 today. Haven't got a call. Got a few texts this morning. I know it's early. I know it's not even 7 a.m. yet, but I want some thoughtfulness from you at 877-377-6963. What's going to happen later on today at 11:45 in Starkville, Mississippi? I don't know, but I want to hear what you think. 877-377-6963.
Whether you're planting a tree in your backyard or trenching at a construction site, a call to 811 helps prevent dangerous damage to underground utilities and is the first step in keeping yourself and your community safe. Hitting a line can knock out service to your home and neighborhood, resulting in fines, damages, serious injury, or worse. Safety is in your hands. Call 811 before you dig. It's easy, it's free, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Black Hills Energy.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Have you been searching for a luxury dealership experience unlike any other? Come to Land Rover Little Rock in Little Rock, Arkansas, and discover why we're known as classy, top tier, easy, and honest. Whether you want to upgrade your ride to a new Range Rover Velar or you're in the market for a used vehicle of another make, you won't regret visiting our Little Rock, Arkansas Land Rover dealership for all your automotive needs. Can't make it in? Check us out online at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
This is Northside head football coach Felix Curry. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Hi, this is Ricky Smith, head basketball coach for the Northside Lady Bears. I dial 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Football and fall, what a great time of the year. It's also a great time to take advantage of York factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Remember the classic Massey Ferguson tractors, straightforward, dependable, tough as nails, and easy to run? It's those classic models that inspired the Massey Ferguson 2600H series, as durable and reliable as the classics, with up to 74 horsepower and more comfort so you can work harder. The Massey Ferguson 2600H series. It's everything you want and need in a tractor. See one at Bush Machine and Tractor Company or visit bushtractor.com to learn more.
Hey, we're back at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. Troy, you mentioned a minute ago, you got 60 brand new Fords on the lot. That's the biggest selection you've had probably since COVID.
Yes, definitely. You know, I'm excited just to look out the window, look out the front door, and see the new inventory. Starts over here on the left, and it ends at the end of the lot. So come down here and see us if you're looking for a steal of a deal on a new vehicle. These cars got to get out of here. These trucks got to go. We got to move the metal. We got to make room for the 25s that are coming in. So I'm telling you, come and see us. We want to make sure that you get the best deal possible on a new Ford, and we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that happens.
Plus, you got great rebates right now on the Ford F-150.
Yes, definitely. And like I said a second ago, we want to go to work for you and make sure that you're getting all of the money that you qualify for, so that way we can save you that money, lower that payment, and hey, all in all, let's get you in a new Ford.
Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw.
It's Arkansas Game Day on ESPN Arkansas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Mississippi State squaring off against Arkansas.
Visit their website at shoponrazorback.com with the largest selection of Razorback merchandise south of the North Pole. It doesn't get any more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
I got that wood.
Sawyer's, been in business since 1990, locally owned and operated.
He missed it to the left, and the Razorbacks have won it.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
We had the cowbells all day yesterday, and I said, I can't take it no more. So today we had crowd noise without the cowbell. Well, I think our kids understand now after Tuesday all day that there's going to be cowbells, and so we just practice noise today.
Welcome back into hour number 2 of Arkansas Game Day. Big C and me, Clay Henry, along in about 30 minutes. You're welcome anytime. 877-377-6963. Haven't done an early Arkansas Game Day since week 2, September the 7th against Oklahoma State, as has Arkansas not had an early game. That was at 11 that day. This one's at 11:45. Team trying to get back in the swing of things a little bit. You think that has any effect on them today, Christian? The fact that it's been more afternoon and night games since September the 14th?
We came out strong against Oklahoma State when we played at 11 a.m. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it, but maybe that early morning game kind of gives them a
little
boost.
pick me up.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to finish the way you did against Oklahoma State, but that first half against Oklahoma State is exactly what we need to aim for today, and hopefully the second half is much better.
I wonder the philosophy and the game plan, I should say, that Bobby Petrino and Sam Pittman have with their rushing attack. I think Taylor Green is going to see more called runs for him today. I think they're going to be a little more willing, unless there's something behind the scenes in terms of his health that I am unaware of. Mentioned the Braylon Russell stuff. Braylon's probably going to get the rock a lot between him. You just hope Rashad Dominion can bounce back after that fumble last week. It's not just him. I mean, Jaquinta Jackson's put the ball on the ground a lot. I think Ronnie Hill's put it on the ground once. I think Braylon's actually, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Big C, I think he's the only running back that hasn't fumbled the football outside of the last one of the other transfers whose name I'm blanking on. But I think
Rodney Hill. No,
not Rodney Hill. It's the Tyrell Reed. I think is the other one. I think he's the only one that hasn't fumbled the football, and we know these fumbles have come in just some painful, excruciating, terrible timing. Situations.
At this point in the season, you want to give it to guys that won't fumble because you can't afford it at this point. So you really can't afford it any time. So, and Pittman even said we're going to give it to Russell. So he can, as long as he hangs on to the ball and runs hard and picks up yards and that clock keeps going, I think we're in good shape.
I think about the rest of college football today and what the SEC has on its plate in terms of the conference overall. Arkansas, Mississippi State by no means is the biggest game today. No. Alabama trying to bounce back against Missouri in Tuscaloosa. Auburn trying desperately to get a win under Hugh Freeze in Lexington, Kentucky. You think about LSU. Nussmeier looked as good as he has all season in Fayetteville, unfortunately. They go to College Station for their biggest game. Didn't think that LSU and A&M by October the 26th would be the only two remaining undefeated conference. Not overall because they've lost to USC and Notre Dame, but they are the only teams in the league that don't have a loss so far.
I know this isn't in the SEC, but Notre Dame and Navy.
Yep, the midshipmen. If you're not on the midshipmen, you're not an American. Brett Bielema's Illinois squad also takes on Oregon. I think that game's in Autzen Stadium. So there are some other games outside of this league on that. I would love for Navy to win. Zach Arntz would be ticked off, which would be funny. But I tend to think that Notre Dame will ultimately pull it out. I do think Navy will cover. I just think Notre Dame will probably get that victory. Other games in the SEC include Oklahoma going to Oxford. I was texting our buddy Brett Norsworthy, who does radio in Memphis. He's the pre and post guy for Ole Miss. He told me that there's a lot of Oklahoma fans that are already at Oxford. You've also got, let's see what else is on the slate. Texas and Vanderbilt, of course. That is a game that every single one of our listeners right now, with the exception of Brian, want the Longhorns to lose. They are 18.5-point favorites in Nashville, Tennessee. And there's a lot of Texas. As someone that is a resident there, there's a lot of Texas fans that live in Nashville. So not only will they travel from Austin and Dallas and other metropolitan areas in Texas, there's a lot of fans that will actually be in Nashville too. And a lot of people on Broadway that'll be cheering for the Doors because Vanderbilt.
Can you imagine if they got 2 top 5 wins and
be awesome?
Vanderbilt.
Clark Lee be such a cool thing for his program. If he wins that game, he's well on his way to Coach of the Year. I thought Pittman had an outside shot looking in. Unless something crazy happens down the stretch, I don't think that's going to happen. Here's the deal about today's game. State hadn't won since week 1, right? Week 1. It's been that long since Mississippi State has won a football game. They are 1-6. This is not a good team you're playing today. And I know it's on the road. I get that. But losses to Arizona State and Toledo, they got drilled by Florida, Texas, played Georgia better than I thought they would, 31-41, and then A&M as well. You got to find a way to win this football game. Thing is, Jeff Levy, behind closed doors, that staff, those players, they think they're going to win today. They think they're going to beat this Arkansas football team, in my opinion. Don't know that for a fact, but in my opinion, I think they think they're going to win. And so you're up against, not insurmountable odds, but you're up against a situation where you're favored and you're playing a team that feels like they have nothing to lose. So there's some things going against you. So we've talked about you got to get the ground game going a little bit, but you also got to stop Michael Van Buren and make sure he doesn't get hot. Here's what Coach Pittman said about this offense and the freshman quarterback they're playing today.
They're wide open. They have a mixture of playing fast, of course we had KB here, and he's in that tree of Levy and obviously his daddy. So they're wide open. I tell you what they're doing. If you press them, they're going to throw it on. They're going to throw deep. They're connecting on those plays. They've got speed at wideout, so that their quarterback, he can throw the deep ball. The other thing is they're running the stretch in the inside zone very, very well. Their 2 backs run extremely hard, and then the quarterback can make plays with his feet. They're not necessarily wanting to run him, I don't feel like, a bunch, because he slides every time. A running quarterback, most of the time he just runs, but he's elusive in the pocket. They're just playing with a great deal of energy. You can just feel it on the film by the sidelines, the way that they're excited on the sideline, and they're running the ball well enough, and the quarterback gives them opportunities there to scramble and make some plays, and he's throwing the ball really well.
Do you think the Travis Williams should kind of go for that same game plan he had against LSU, since you're facing a freshman? And kind of make them make mistakes. You don't want to get beat deep. I think you'll stop the run a little better today. What's your opinion on that?
I think you do the opposite. I think you do more of what, like the Alan Bowmans and the Garrett Nussmeyers. They didn't kind of blitz. They sat back. They brought some, but you got in situations where you're just too far off. I think with a young freshman like you saw with Nico, like you saw with some other quarterbacks this season, Hank Brown, Marcel Reed to a certain extent, Texas A&M's quarterback, you're willing to roll the dice a little more on them. You don't necessarily want to do that with the older guys. So I think he's going to come after him today. Maybe that's not the right thing to do, but I expect that you'll see more pressures from Arkansas in that situations. Lance, who's listening in Fort Sill this morning, is hoping that Arkansas can put up more than 30 points on the scorecard today. Yeah, offensively, think about the performances lately. So he managed, what was it? It was 10 points against LSU, 19 against Tennessee. Was it 17 against Texas A&M, Auburn?
24.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not like your offensive performances haven't been great this year. Travis Williams, for the most part, with the exception of the LSU game, was kind of a clunker and a stinker, and I still maintain that they were put in some awful situations. Not that they played great that day, but just bad situations that the offense continued to put them in. Offense needs to show up today. And again, we're talking with Chuck Oliver about this. You have every reason to believe that you're going to be able to run the football against Mississippi State based on what they've given up so far this season. I mean, there should be gaping holes today where whether it's Braylon Russell, Taylon Green, Rodney Hill, whichever running back is in there, Rashad Dominion, have lots of room against Mississippi State later on today. I heard, again, Addison Nichols was talking about this week. They've got to be able to run the football, their starting center, and get things rolling a little bit. That'll give Taylon some confidence, who is only playing in his second career SEC real road game. I know the Texas A&M technically was a road game on paper. That's not a road game. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Davis Wade Stadium is going to be the most raucous atmosphere that Taylon Green's ever played in, but it's still an SEC road game, and there's still expectations that accompany what you have to do there. So we'll have to wait and see. All right, another break. We're going to hit 877-377-6963. Arkansas Game Day is presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, locally owned and operated by Robert, Elizabeth, and Matthew Mann. Family owned by U of A alumni. Largest selection of Razorback merchandise south of the North Pole. Love everything I get from there. Robert always hooks me up, and it's awesome. It doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Visit their website at shop, SHOPPE, on Razorback.com. And by Sawyer's Sunrooms. Sawyer's, everything for outside the house, including sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, and windows, including decorative concrete. Visit them online today at Sawyers-Sunrooms.com. That's Sawyers-Sunrooms.com. More Arkansas Game Day coming up next.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
And by
Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Whether you're planting a tree in your backyard or trenching at a construction site, a call to 811 helps prevent dangerous damage to underground utilities and is the first step in keeping yourself and your community safe. Hitting a line can knock out service to your home and neighborhood, resulting in fines, damages, serious injury, or worse. Safety is in your hands. Call 811 before you dig. It's easy, it's free, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Black Hills Energy.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Hanging with Danny Cobb at American Welding Laboratories. Danny, tell us about the school.
Well, Tommy, we're going on 3 years in operation. We teach all aspects of welding, from stick welding all the way to combination pipe.
So how's the job market these days?
Job market's wide open, whether you want to stay local or hit the road. As a licensed institution, we have access to many grants, including the GI Bill now.
Great. How do we get started?
Come by 4400 South 16th, take a tour, talk to our instructors.
It's American Welding Laboratories. Find out more at theweldinglab.com.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
Call Jason Hill in Greenwood or Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer. Celebrate your pastor at the Solid Rock this month. October is Pastor Appreciation Month, and to help you celebrate, the Solid Rock is giving you a $5 gift card to give to your pastor with any purchase of $50 or more. And while you're there, be sure to check out the wonderful assortment of items that would make great pastor appreciation gifts. Celebrate Pastor Appreciation Month at the Solid Rock, the store that honors Christ all year long, off South 74th near Sam's Club.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, football, and family, which makes it the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart, your family's #1 tire store. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is ready for anything fall brings your way. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Hey, is your roof leaking? Do you have hail or wind damage? Is it just looking old and worn out? If so, you need to call Hoghead Roofing, a family-owned and operated roofing company where the #1 customer is you. They will give you their honest opinion on whether your roof needs replaced or repaired. They have folks that have worked on the insurance side so they can assist with all claims. Licensed, insured, and ready to serve you. Call Hoghead Roofing today at 479-522-0840. God bless.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day. Brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Andrew Armstrong, 25 yards. How did he get that wide open?
And by golly, give me those dogs, Chuck. Oh, yeah. Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day 5 hours before kickoff. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
We had the cowbells all day yesterday, and I said, I can't take it no more. I think our kids understand now after Tuesday all day that there's going to be cowbells, and so we just practice noise today.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Knox altered it. Big Z with a rebound. Quick outlet on the other end and a dunk for Adutero. Wow, Adutero threw it down. That ball was down the floor in an instant, and the Razorbacks are up by 18 points.
85-69 the final in Bud Walton Arena last night. I know a lot of our focus, and deservedly so, is going to be on what happens in Starkville, Mississippi today, as well as other SEC venues. But I do want to talk about this for just a sec. If you have thoughts on the basketball game from what you took in on the SEC network, maybe you listen to Chuck and Z on ESPN Arkansas or hitthatline.com or Hit That Line Now app. Jump in with me and Big C, 877-377-6963. So Boogie Flan and DJ Wagner, Christian, combined for 46 points last night. A true freshman and a true sophomore. One of the things I noticed is he started the 3 Kentucky guys, DJ, Big Z, and Adutero. I'm going to have trouble saying that name, trying to listen to Chuck as much as possible. And then he started 2 freshmen. He started Boogie Flan, and I think it was Knox over Richmond. I think are the 5 guys that he started. Other guys came in, rotated, like Trevin Brazil, like John L. Davis and whatnot, but one of the things that was, and I'm forgetting the guest that we had on the morning rush, but he talked about the biggest key for this basketball team is the 3 guys from Lexington, Big Z, DJ, and Adu. because they are going to set the tone. They know what Cal's like. It's one thing to hear about him. It's one thing to be recruited by him. They know the rigorous practices. They know the expectations. And I think that's one of the reasons that those three specifically might have a leg up on some other guys, Christian.
Yeah, and all those guys you mentioned and really everybody on this team has the ability to score, and they all play good defense. So you don't really see, I know it's one game, you don't really see a glaring weakness right now. I guess you could point to the turnovers, but that's kind of going to happen when you've got players out there that are playing hard and fast, and that's just kind of part of it. But
and they had less turnovers than Kansas did. They had 13. KU had 17 last night with a point guard that's in his 6th year of college basketball.
Yeah, so I mean, really, that team could you have expected much more from that team last night, considering it was their first.
They over-delivered on the expectations. Text from Will this morning said, in person, this team looks the part. The size, the athleticism is tangible, and Big Z is going to be a huge part of our offense with the 5 out, hands off. It's such a fun team. That's what he's texting in this morning. Weaknesses are going to showcase themselves throughout the season. It's just they're going to come up. Arkansas is not going to go undefeated in the regular season, but again,
this has a much different feel than that Purdue exhibition win. I mean,
why?
It was just a big. All right, so obviously there whether you want to say it or not, there wasn't as much hype going in for that team. We thought that we could be good. I don't know that many people, thought we would win against Purdue. I thought, it was a hard-fought game, and we kind of had to come back. We fed off the crowd. It didn't feel like we were the more talented team that game necessarily. It just felt like we were pumped up and ready to go for that game. This game, it just felt like we were relaxed and we were the better team. It didn't feel like we, knocked down a giant like it did last year against Purdue.
Bill Self, I have not listened to his press conference, but one of the quotes he apparently had last night, I actually think this team, he's talking about Arkansas, I actually think this team is better than some of the ones that Cal had at Kentucky. Pretty strong words from Bill Self on this Razorback basketball team.
I can't disagree because, for one, in most of his Kentucky teams were really freshman laden, and they didn't really, at the beginning of the year, and I know this is an exhibition game, but at the beginning of the year with a lot of his Kentucky teams, they didn't have like a flow. It was just kind of like a lot of one-on-one, and it took a while to get them gelling. But I don't see that much with this team because you do have some transfers in there. You've got some older guys. I don't have the feel that this is going to – I know Cal said it's a 2 or 3 year process, and there's going to be a lot of bumps this year, but – man, from what I saw, unless they just do a complete 360, I don't see that.
Jamie May texting in, I'm impressed with the team that I watched last night. He thinks that Big Z is better than he thought, and Flan is a dog. Yes, Boogie Flan, for a true freshman, his first time playing for Cal on the big stage. I know it's an exhibition, but the SEC Network had Coach Dykes there, Coach Greenberg there, John Schriffen, who does a lot of college basketball stuff. They sent their A-team. From the SEC Network / ESPN. I know it was on the SEC Network, but those guys mainly work for ESPN. I mean, that was a big deal. They invested in it. Was, again, I thought the crowd, I thought the entire night was a great display for Arkansas basketball in this athletics department. And on top of all that, you got to win. And I thought you could hear Cal and Self from time to time. I just thought it was an interesting broadcast, and you can do those things during the course of an exhibition game. Can't do them in a regular season. So it's kind of you got a better inside look on some coaching styles and some different things. So they're doing that, which I thought was a unique perspective that we got to take in.
Did you see Cal do the horns down signal?
Yeah, I think that's that's probably just a play call.
I just thought it was funny because he was you could read his lips. He was saying horns down. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah,
because we hate Texas.
Everyone does. Let's see. You want to talk basketball? Here you go. This is from JT. For years, I thought Kansas, Kentucky, UNC, Duke always looked more athletic, bigger, and a better basketball player for most years. Last night, we looked like one of those teams. I think that's what we have to get used to. And again, now that Muss is gone, people just want to pile on and make fun of him, do all this stuff. I'm not going to do that. I am so grateful for his time, him and Danielle's time here, and what they were able to bring back for Arkansas basketball. It's a massive deal for this athletics department, this fan base, and this program. And he had some guys. Let's not forget Anthony Black, Jordan Walsh. I mean, he brought in some dudes. I know last year didn't go according to plan, but Muss brought in some really talented players. And
do you think Muss has kind of hit his peak at Arkansas? Do you think he's going to kind of fade into obscurity?
I don't know. I think he really wants to win at USC and prove that last year was an anomaly compared to what he's usually going to do.
You can, man. When's the last time they made a Final Four? I mean, I'm not. He can. He's proven that he's good. He's good at reviving programs, but
tell you what,
Arkansas has more history than USC.
They're not going to have 19,200 strong at a USC exhibition game or practice or anything like that. That goes to show you how important Ridgeback basketball is to the fabric of this state, and it's going to continue to do so. Again, we can talk about Nebraska being similar as a state, being that football program in Lincoln is what people in that state latch on to, just like they do here. But there's not the same love for baseball there. There's not the same love for basketball there. I mean, you've got Hoiberg, and I don't know who Nebraska's head baseball coach is, but Dave used to be. It's just not the same. This is a very unique situation that we get to talk about Monday through Friday and Saturday sometime like here on Arkansas Game Day. Arkansas is awesome. And the fact that we care so much about the three major sports with our athletics department is unlike anything else in the country of sports here college-wise.
That gives the players and even Cal more motivation, I feel like. It may not, it's not the sole motivator, but when they know that they've got the support that they need and, they're going to be appreciated when they win and, they're going to have the fans there backing them and giving them that edge. I think that's huge. I really do.
We're going to get some help from our buddy Clay Henry coming up. He joins us momentarily. Got to call him up right now on hitthatline.com. We discussed it a little bit yesterday. We'll jump on that. We'll get Clay's thoughts on basketball, the rest of the Southeastern Conference. Really appreciate him making some time for us this morning. Arkansas Game Day continues on next.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Celebrate your pastor at the Solid Rock this month. October is Pastor Appreciation Month, and to help you celebrate, the Solid Rock is giving you a $5 gift card to give to your pastor with any purchase of $50 or more. And while you're there, be sure to check out the wonderful assortment of items that would make great pastor appreciation gifts. Celebrate Pastor Appreciation Month at the Solid Rock, the store that honors Christ all year long, off South 74th near Sam's Club.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
What makes Crabtree RV Center different? First, we are a fourth-generation family-owned business taking pride in making your family's dreams come true. No corporate mentality here. Second, we've been in business for 74 years, founded in 1950 here in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas area. We are not going anywhere. What does that mean for our customers? A family feel with no corporate hidden fees. The reassurance that we will be here for generations to come, and knowledgeable salespeople who want to pick the right RV for your family to make lifetime memories in. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
At Arvest Bank, we believe in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to working with and supporting those who serve our communities. From the ones who are making a difference in big and small ways every day, to those who are helping create better tomorrows. We appreciate everything you do, and we're proud to work alongside you. Because every community deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank. We believe.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day. Brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Here's the ball game. It's going to end Arkansas wins in overtime.
You heard it here first. Give me the Hawks, Chuck. We'll pick Suey. You hear?
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day, 5 hours before kickoff. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyers, everything for outside the house.
Anybody in the SEC is a dangerous team. Like I told you, like no matter what week you play, 1-6, it don't matter the record. We treat every team the same, undefeated, haven't won any games. It's going to be a dogfight no matter who you play.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Maddox Lassiter, he's from Warren. Tyrone Broden, Brooks Both from Harrison. Starting corner for us, transfer in here. Marquise, we call him Cuddy Robinson.
Those are your captains this week, later on today, as they take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. I think Clay's going to be with us in just a few minutes. I have really enjoyed how they've rotated this captain setup. I think it's cool. They got a couple of Arkansas kids. Maddox Lassiter, if you watched him, I know most fullbacks don't get the praise, but hey, man, he has opened some holes for Jaquindon Jackson and Braylon Russell and some other guys this season. They're needing to do that. Mississippi State, again, giving up a lot defensively. This should be a game where you end with 400, 500 offensive yards, passing, rushing. Taylor Green could have a career day against an SEC opponent. But there's a lot of reasons to think that you're going to be able to move the ball offensively against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Hopefully it plays out that way. We'll have to wait and see later on. If you want to jump in here, you can do so. 877-377-6963. Again, 877-377-6963. Christian, you were talking about outside of the Southeastern Conference, there are some other games today. What's your read on that game between Notre Dame and Navy?
Man, I've been impressed with Navy and their ability to kind of just put teams away, and they look really good. I mean, the way they run their offense, you don't really create a lot of there's not a lot of turnover margin in that offense. You're not throwing it a whole lot. You can kind of control the game, run clock. But I've also been pretty impressed with Notre Dame since that lost against Northern Illinois too. So I think it's kind of a contrast of style, so to speak. Notre Dame's going to have the more talented team, obviously. They're going to have some mismatches to be able to exploit, but I think I wouldn't count Navy out. I think they're hard-nosed and they play good defense. I think they're going to kind of keep it. They're going to have to kind of keep it low scoring. But man, don't get me wrong. They're both ranked. It would still be an upset, obviously. But man, I just like the way Navy's playing. I don't know if today's the day they get exposed or not.
Hadn't played a lot of
Notre
talent
Dame's
in the
a good team, yeah.
Notre Dame is a good team defensively. Speaking of good, our good buddy Clay Henry now joins us, Hall of Famer, columnist at hitthatline.com, frequent contributor across ESPN Arkansas. Clay, good morning. Thanks for waking up with this, man. What's your day setup look like today outside of Arkansas and Mississippi State?
Maybe we don't have Clay.
Maybe we don't have Clay. Let me text him real quick.
But yeah, I mean that's going to be an interesting game, and honestly, Arkansas, they played 11:45. After that game, I think you got Texas Vanderbilt around 3. That's a game I'm interested in seeing. I want to see Texas lose as many times as they can. I don't want. I mean, they've got an easy enough schedule as it is. So Vanderbilt, come on, give them that.
Yeah, I've been a little frustrated, and I feel for Oklahoma fans, even though I told you this was how it's going to play out, where they weren't going to have a successful season. But the schedule that the Sooners were distributed versus what Texas received from the SEC is outright laughable. It's laughable, the differences between the two and the competition that you face versus the competition that he faced. Clay, are you with us now?
I haven't heard him connect.
Okay.
Maybe it's something on his end.
Okay.
I don't think it's on ours, but
There we go.
There he is.
There we go. What's up, Clay?
You got us, Clay?
Hello.
Hey, buddy. What's going on?
Good morning.
Good morning, man. Thanks for waking up early with us. So, outside of Arkansas, Mississippi State, what's on the docket for the Hall of Famer today?
Just watches the games as they roll along. I mean, it's probably tie some flies and have the big screen going and enjoy football. There's this moving around. The LSU Texas A&M game and Alabama Ole Miss games, they're kind of front and center on my mind after we get done with the Bulldogs. And there'll probably be a late night game. There's usually one for the West Coast. It's decent, so we'll try to do that.
Oregon,
one too.
Oregon and Illinois. Brett Bielema and the squad trying to get a victory in
Does Missouri
Eugene.
give Alabama their third loss?
Ooh, that would be something. Well, I mean, Clay, I know you've probably seen a clip or two from Alabama fans this week. Kalen DeBoer, he's not in a world of trouble, but he's not helping himself at all.
This is now he didn't go back-to-back losses because South Carolina didn't pull it off in the fourth quarter, but he was right on the edge of doing 3 in a row.
You're right.
And I can remember when Danny Ford came to Arkansas. Of course, his background is all Bear Bryant, Alabama, and he said the way it works in the SEC is back-to-back losses and you're on the hot seat. And he doesn't have any cash in the bank with Alabama fans. What he did at Washington or what he did at the NAIA level, none of that really matters. Those aren't what Alabama fans consider to be money in the bank. And he's now, if you really look closely and dive in, this isn't his kind of quarterback, and he's not a pro passer, and that's the offense that they've run. If you watch them in at Washington, over his
Fresno State and his other pit stops.
Yeah, I mean it's they threw it down the field and they could dink and dunk and they did all the things that spread you out vertically. Then you could run the ball, and he doesn't have that with this guy. And Jalen Milroe he's a running back that that has a decent arm, but he's not a prototypical passer. I mean that's just not what he's geared for. And they wanted Alabama with him, not because of him, but because of their defense.
Yep.
And this defensive staff is okay. I mean, they probably haven't
like 55th overall, Clay.
Yeah, but they haven't played in this kind of competition defensively.
They pulled
against these teams.
Womack is like South Alabama? That's where they pulled him from?
So what I'm getting at is that you don't have what Kalen DeBoer wants, and then you don't have a defense that Alabama wants. So that it doesn't match up. And there's going to be some more tough games. They may win them, they may lose them. But yeah, he's gonna be on the hot seat, and every little thing that he messes up is that will be magnified because of his situation with first year measured against Saban, and I don't think it's it doesn't match up with Alabama fans at this point, and it'll get worse, and he'll either now. What he's done is he's recruited at a really high level.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you bring in high school players and them be dynamic as first-year players at Alabama when everybody else in the league is bringing in fourth- and fifth-year players that have got 3 years of experience somewhere else? And that's what's happening in the SEC. That's what all the teams that they're going against right now. If he's playing new players, young players, freshmen, he's got a hard road to hoe is how I look at it.
You got a question for Clay? You can text us at 877-377-6963. I have a non-football question. Clay, was the party last night or is it tonight?
No, it was last night.
How
we got done. It was great food. The burn-ins. I did a whole pork belly diced and then smoked. And
you've leaned into that cooking, haven't you?
Well, I've always done it. You just didn't know about it.
Okay.
So, I mean, I've got a new smoker, so we're talking about that.
Okay.
But I've always had a smaller Weber Bullet in fact, I had 3 of them. It takes about 8 or 9 years to wear one out. So, so you can do the math, 30 years of that.
Jeez.
But my repertoire has expanded to brisket, pork bellies, tri-tips, those sort of things, spatchcock, whole chicken. I'm going to do 2 big turkey breasts for Thanksgiving.
Nice.
And Christmas, I've got a whole tenderloin, beef tenderloin.
Bill says you're a pro as far as he can tell. He's listening in Northeast Arkansas this morning based on the pictures that you posted.
Well, and I've had some good coaching. Jeremiah Gage from Ozark, my buddy that lives in Loveland, he's coached me on this, how to pick meat, how to, what to do in preparation. And it's real easy to do these days. If you want to get into this, just like everything else, it's on YouTube. You go to, there's 4 or 5 of these pro barbecue pit masters that have got these extensive YouTube videos that, it's 20 minutes. Really good camera work. The guy at Meat Church in Texas, if you want to learn about briskets or pork bellies, watch his stuff.
I've seen, that's fantastic. I've seen a clip or 2.
Yeah, and there's 2 or 3 others, and the names aren't coming to me. But if you want to go to Meat Church, you'll end up doing brisket pretty well, pretty fast. And I don't mean you cook it fast. I mean it's 12, 14 hours depending on the size. And you have the temperature probes, and it all comes up on your phone, and you can move temperatures around. I mean, it's like you know what to do based on I cooked with a stick burner and charcoal and that kind of stuff for a long time, but now the pellet stuff, it's like easy bake oven kind of stuff. It's not hard to do. Not a lot of preparation time. You keep your grill clean. You change the foil out on the drip pan, and that's about all there is to it.
No.
So it turned out great. The cubed pork belly, which is like another way of saying bacon, cubed bacon. Just imagine that.
Yeah.
But it's it's seasoned. It's been in a butter bath. Then you drizzle it with kind of I had some Guy Fieri honey barbecue sauce that I drizzled with it to caramelize it at the end. I mean, that stuff went fast last night.
I bet. You want to hang on for another segment?
You got it.
All right, we're going to take one more break before we finish out the hour. Our buddy Clay Henry talking meats, talking football. We even asked him about what happened at Bud Walton Arena last night as Arkansas defeated Kansas 85-69. More Arkansas Game Day coming your way next.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyer's has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyer's and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyer's, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Have you been searching for a luxury dealership experience unlike any other? Come to Land Rover Little Rock in Little Rock, Arkansas, and discover why we're known as classy, top-tier, easy, and honest. Whether you want to upgrade your ride to a new Range Rover Velar, or you're in the market for a used vehicle of another make, you won't regret visiting our Little Rock, Arkansas Land Rover dealership for all your automotive needs. Can't make it in? Check us out online at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey & Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey & Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit kevinhickeylaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey & Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Hanging with Danny Cobb at American Welding Laboratories. Danny, tell us about the school.
Well, Tommy, we're going on 3 years in operation. We teach all aspects of welding, from stick welding all the way to combination pipe.
So how's the job market these days?
Job market's wide open, whether you want to stay local or hit the road. As a licensed institution, we have access to many grants, including the GI Bill now.
Great. How do we get started?
Come by 4400 South 16th, take a tour, talk to our instructors.
It's American Welding Laboratories. Find out more at theweldinglab.com.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
You never know what you will walk up on or find over the hill at the Tackle Box. For almost 50 years, the Tackle Box has been your home for hunting and fishing supplies and some of the best outdoor stories. Whether guns, ammo, fishing supplies, or home decor, come back and see them again. They even buy your old fishing tackle or guns. The Tackle Box, your sports store for hunting, fishing, firearms, and more. 3001 0 Street, Fort Smith, 646-3193.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Arkansas Game Day. Brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Give me a hole! Yes! Williams, could he do it again? Yes! Touchdown, Arkansas! His fourth rushing touchdown of the half.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day 5 hours before kickoff. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
Huge part, obviously, of our offense is running the football, and that's been a huge emphasis this week for us, and will be great for us this weekend.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more touchdown! Arkansas wins!
This is Arkansas Game Day.
So we got a couple barbecue texts and some basketball texts. We'll jump into that with Clay. Clay's kind enough to not only do 2 segments, but he's going to do 3 segments with us this morning. But as far as football is concerned, Clay, you jumped in when Christian and I were talking about some other college football games today. Let's talk about the one in Starkville, Mississippi. Mississippi State comes in this game competent, more on offense with Michael Van Buren and what they've been doing. Defensively, though, they're a wreck. And they've given up a ton of points this season. I know Arkansas is not fully healthy at the running back group, but they sure seem susceptible to maybe getting rushed on a little bit later on today.
Yeah, I think what you've seen with Mississippi State is they started the year with the idea that we're going to get to the quarterback. And they didn't have that kind of defensive end talent or linebacker talent or speed. And gradually as the year has gone on, they backed off, and they played softer. And that's made teams drive it on them instead of getting the big play. But the score will hold down a little bit because it's going to take you longer. You can still move the ball against them. Now, we'll see. Teams have pressured Arkansas, and will they go back to that, against Taylor Green? But it's the same thing has kind of happened in Arkansas with Travis Williams, in that he went with a lot of zero blitz last year. Tried to get to the quarterback. They forced turnovers. I think they had 34 points, defensive points, which if people have thrown to me, on social media that that Arkansas scored more last year than what Bobby Petrino's offense. Well, he didn't have any defensive points like they had last year. I mean, they had they had pick sixes last year. They scored several ways defensively that they have not done this year. And the only game where they forced turnovers in a significant way was at Auburn. In their first SEC win. I don't know if it was 5 or 6 turnovers, but that was the big part of that game. And they have not forced a turnover against Texas A&M, Tennessee, or LSU, 0. So that's something to watch today. And, will Travis Williams try to pressure a young quarterback? So that's that's the scheme part. Then the second part to watch is who controls the line of scrimmage with physical play. And I'm sure that's what Sam Pittman wants to do today. He wants to dominate with an offensive line. But it's a kind of restructured offensive line.
How do they use Kudus, Clay? Because they mentioned, but how do you feature? You're more familiar with this in rotations of offensive line. How does that work?
Well, I'm sure that he can't be in game shape. He hadn't played at all. And he missed a lot of I guess the last part of August practice when the back flared up. So you wonder, has he been able to lift weights? What's his leg strength? When you have a back injury, that's the first thing you have to do is stop lifting weights. And what's his conditioning like? And I mean, they know. I mean, they've practiced him for the last 3 weeks, so they've got an idea. He's one of their most athletic players, and that's why they put him at tackle on the front end. And then they decided he might be better suited. Can protect him a little bit at guard. He's inexperienced. But but he was really good in the spring, and they thought that he was going to be one of their best players. They're excited about him. Keystone Blackstock will play some. They can't play a whole game with Patrick Kudus, so they're going to rotate those guys, and we'll see which one does the best. Probably is the one that plays in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and it's kind of pushes Keyshawn Blackstock a little bit, like you're saying, the rotation of sorts, and it also gives Patrick Kudus a chance not to, hey, you're starting this game, but a little rotation so he can kind of get ready and get back in the fold of what a college football
They're going to platoon. That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm. Clay's going to stay with us. We got barbecue and basketball, more football to discuss with him in hour number 3 of Arkansas Game Day. 30 more minutes. It's me, Big C, and our friend Hall of Famer Clay Henry. We continue on next.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet. No, Mom, he's referring to football season. Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes? Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white. We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner. Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb-based brands.
He means the website, which is shoponrazorback.com. Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us. Go Hogs!
Arkansas Game Day.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Basketball fans, it's that time of year again. The NBA is back. From opening tip-off to buzzer beaters, BetOnline has you covered with the best odds, biggest promotions, and live in-game betting on all of your favorite team. This season, every game matters. BetOnline has every stat, matchup, breakdown, and live odds to bet on during the games. And it's not just the NBA. BetOnline has odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, to even political props. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Basketball fans, it's that time of year again. The NBA is back. From opening tip-off to buzzer beaters, BetOnline has you covered with the best odds, biggest promotions, and live in-game betting on all of your favorite team. This season, every game matters. BetOnline has every...
Open down around the goal line, complete touchdown, Arkansas.
Visit their website and shop on Razorback.com with the largest selection of Razorback merchandise south of the North Pole. It doesn't get any more Razorback than the Stadium Shop.
We know the cowbells will be rolling.
Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
I got that one.
Sawyer's, been in business since 1990, locally owned and operated. This is Arkansas Game Day.
All right, back here on Arkansas Game Day. Not one, not two, but three segments with our friend Clay Henry, Big C, and me. Next 30 minutes before we head the headsets over to Phil Elson, Rick Schaefer, and Gino Bell. We got some thoughts on barbecue. Clay, one of the guys that you apparently watch that you and Wood Pig Stevens share is Malcolm Reed, barbecueright.com. I know meat shirts, but educate me on Mr. Malcolm Reed.
Yeah, he's a Mississippi guy, and it's every style of barbecue is a little different, but really what Tim at Meat Church and what Malcolm do are very similar with briskets. They do a little bit different style with the pork belly, to make the burnt ends. But yeah, I like that. And Heath Riles is the third one, and all these guys are many-time world champions, and then. I've got the RecTech 1100 smoker, and then, their app has a bunch of recipes, and then they do, 15 different YouTube videos with their experts, and I don't know their names. They just say they're the RecTech team. And all that stuff is, you don't have to have a RecTech to use, their recipes and their videos. So that's and you can kind of, get a feel for, the different little nuances. There's little tips on how to do it, how to clean your grill, and all. They just do everything. Preparation, how to slice a brisket, the way to serve it, and yeah. So if I'm traveling or whatever, I'll look at those YouTube videos late at night. My wife probably doesn't like it if I do it in bed at home, but
Yeah.
but if I'm off
traveling.
in a hotel, then that's something to do. Used to, I'd find a good book to read. Now I'm watching YouTube video on barbecue.
You're turning back into a millennial or a Gen Zer, Clay, staying up on your phone rather than reading a book as we
Something like that.
Before we go
Yeah.
to bed. Clay, I'm in the midst of building my grill. I think I'm on step 48 of 57, so I'm almost done, but there's a few steps that I have to complete before I can put anything on it, including going to get some propane and setting that up.
I had to put together the RecTech, and it wasn't elaborate, but they have a YouTube video on how to put together your grill. You just do it step by step, and you hit a button, and it gives you a step, and you hit a button, it gives you.
That's
a
what
step,
I've been doing.
And then it's animated. I mean,
It's got sound. And...
So when I first got into YouTube videos, it was tie flying, and I used the great fly tyers from all over the world. They have their videos in step by step, really tight close-ups. And, I learned, I got really good fast at fly tying because of these YouTube videos. I mean, if you want to fix your dryer, you want to fix your just about anything. You can do a YouTube video and boom, you want to change your locks. There's YouTube video. I mean, it's like, so I really have enjoyed, the Meat Church and Malcolm and Heath. And then, you can go to Walmart or at Ace Hardware here in Mountain Home. They got all their rubs, their spices. They've got them. So, you can really dial it in and to have a finished product that really matches what these guys are doing competition wise. And they'll do videos on how to do a backyard smoke, that it has a trim with maybe more fat on it.
Mm-hmm.
Then they'll show you how to do a competition where you really trim it all out.
So many varieties and different kinds.
It looks like competition where you're not going to waste that stuff in your backyard. You're going to cook it all. You're not throwing stuff away. Although they have a way of rendering the fat and then use it. And this guy at Meat Church says he renders the fat and puts it on his hair. So you might try that, Ty.
Bill said he learned to pick locks from watching videos on YouTube. I think there's a YouTube video for everything, including some highlights from Arkansas and Kansas last night that War Machine's already put up.
Kansas on the other end. Clemens has the pass stolen by Flan. Boogie leaves it for Brazil, and Trevor slams it home.
Yeah, we've. I know you joked with Chuck, and we've joked with Chuck this week about like the weekend he's had, like staying up late last night doing the Arkansas-Kansas game, getting up early, getting on a plane, flying to Starkville. But I think he was Clay. I think he was happy to be there in Bud Walton Arena last night. I hadn't asked him, but I would guess that.
Yeah, doing the games that's fun for those guys. The travel is not as much fun. I mean, it's doing that kind of thing. But I think this is kind of what gets us guys, old farts going.
Codgers going.
Is this is cool stuff. I mean, Arkansas, Kansas, and then Arkansas's won 2 SEC games. It's a little more fun. It'd be even more fun if they win a 3rd SEC game. and so I think that we've done the tough seasons here at Arkansas of late, and none of us, you or any, the winning is more fun. And I mean, nobody I've heard the afternoon guys talk about, the losing, is better for talk radio. Well, that's a bunch of crap. And I mean, it's, that's what they like. Well, go roll in the dirt if they want to. But I mean, I want to cover a winner. I want to have fun. I want to see these guys succeed. I want to see smiles on their face. I don't want to be doing that kind of radio. But this is what you saw last night, John Calipari and Bill Self going at it, and they
got some inside look with mics.
There was a lot of talk this week that it could be a 30-point loss. It could be this. I mean, John Calipari wasn't going to let that happen. I mean, it's like he had his good guys out there, got them some rest when they needed it. But they are so talented. Now, they're not polished, and they're going to get better when they have an inside post presence with Adu and Tiro. I mean, those two guys will help them around the glass.
Yeah.
The 7-2 Z, he got tired last night.
He did.
He was pooped.
He was getting mad at his teammates because they didn't help him gain rebound last night.
That was one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rest of they did. I think that all of that will get cleaned up. But the scouting report from Matt Zimmerman and 2 or 3 others that have been to regular practices, they said they've got 3 or 4 big-time guards. And, they got the inside pieces. But in college basketball, you win with guards.
Yep.
And if you go back to the NCAA tournament, you got to have a big guy, no question about it. But you need guys that can put it in the basket and get to the rack. And, boy, they've got those guys. I mean, Wagner and Flan, they are – the real deal.
And John L. Davis didn't have a good game last night, 2 of 9, but I think that's going to be an anomaly. I don't expect him to have
wrist. He's been hurt with his wrist, and the first thing they did is put a cast on it and say you can't shoot for 3 weeks. I mean so he's just a little rusty.
Yeah.
But you could tell that Coach Cal was like, man, you got to shoot. And the same thing he was telling Brazil. He says, man, don't. He said, when you're open, you shoot it. And it sounds like Nolan Richardson to me. He's like, if you're not going to shoot that shot, you can come sit by me because that's what you're there for.
Yeah.
But back to Chuck, I think he loves everything that he's doing, and he misses doing baseball. So I mean that part of it I know for sure because I've talked to him about it. But I did not listen to Chuck and Z last night. I watched Jimmy Dykes and they said he was pumped too.
Yeah, they said the A-teamers. I mean, Shriffen does a lot of college basketball stuff. Greenberg, of course, on College Game Day. Coach Dykes there. Yeah. I mean, I thought it
was kind of funny at the end. Seth had John, and the game had already started. It's like in the last 2 minutes, so I think they were trying to get an interview because they were going to go to something else pretty quickly, going to their football coverage in the studio with Dari Noka. And all at once something happened, and John was like, "All right, I'm back to coaching. Yeah. I'm coaching." Yeah,
it was unique because Cal's like halfway listening to the interview, halfway coaching, and there was that happened. It was a cool dynamic. I mean, to see them do that. They're not going to do that during the regular season because these guys are so focused on the task at hand, which is getting their guys in the best ways or the best positions possible to win. But it was unique last night. There's no question about that. You got TCU in another exhibition game in Fort Worth. Some other marquee matchups include the Baylor Bears in Dallas, Michigan in New York, Miami in Miami. So you've got a stellar non-conference schedule before you get to SEC play for basketball-wise. Clay, appreciate you
got it.
You spent about 20 more minutes than we asked of you, so appreciate you hopping on with us.
Yep. Talk to you next week.
All right, that's our buddy Clay Henry, Hall of Famer, all across ESPN Arkansas, columnist at hitthatline.com. Appreciate the Arkansas Game and Fish being a part of Clay's columns and his conversations each and every week. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, Big C and B will wrap up Arkansas Game Day next.
You're listening to Arkansas Game Day, sponsored by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville and by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house. On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Basketball fans, it's that time of year again. The NBA is back. From opening tip-off to buzzer beaters, BetOnline has you covered with the best odds, biggest promotions, and live in-game betting on all of your favorite teams. This season, every game matters. BetOnline has every stat, matchup, breakdown, and live odds to bet on during the games. And it's not just the NBA. BetOnline has odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, to even political props. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
On ESPN Arkansas, download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Basketball fans, it's that time of year again. The NBA is back. From opening tip-off to buzzer beaters, BetOnline has you covered with the best odds, biggest promotions, and live in-game betting on all of your favorite teams. This season, every game matters. BetOnline has every stat, matchup, breakdown, and live odds to bet on during the games. And it's not just the NBA. BetOnline has odds on everything from football, MLB playoffs, NHL, to even political props. Head to the website today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Game Day 5 hours before kickoff. Arkansas Game Day is also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house.
We had the cowbells all day yesterday, and I said, I can't take it no more. I think our kids understand now after Tuesday all day that there's going to be cowbells, and so we just practice noise today.
This is Arkansas Game Day.
Andrew Armstrong leads the team in reception yards and receptions as well. I think he's second in the SEC in yards total. Had this to say when asked about the 7-3 loss to Mississippi State last year.
I don't remember that game.
I don't think anyone wants to remember that game. It's the worst offensive performance of the season. Dan Enos was fired, I believe, on Sunday, and then you went to Kenny Guyton. Things changed a little bit and then kind of went back to where it was the majority of the season. Hopefully, Arkansas is able to muster up a lot more offense today than they did last year against the Bulldogs. This is not the same Zach Arnett defense. Excuse me. He's actually in Oxford, Mississippi right now, coaching with Lane Kiffin. And I would just, when you look at this game on paper, Arkansas is about a touchdown favorite. A lot of statistics favor the Razorbacks. You would think that, hey, this is going to be a game that Arkansas should win and win not just, I wouldn't say easily, but they should win this game today.
I'll take a 7-point win.
Yeah, I would too. I don't know how you felt. A lot of times during the week, my mood shifts more positive. It's going, and it's been skewed negative as the week is drone on, Big C.
Yeah, and is it the performance against LSU?
think it's a culmination of things.
It's the offense not being able to kind of get out of their own way for me. You look at this team and, you started off the season with promise and the competition ramped up a little bit, and you saw the turnovers and stuff like that. The defense really has played well. They played well at times against LSU, and you can kind of hang your hat on that, but really this offense is going to have to step up. And this is a perfect game to kind of get your offense rolling because you're facing probably one of the, if not one of the worst defenses you'll face the rest of the season. So you want to get some momentum going on offense. You don't really want to look stagnant against a team like Mississippi State who gives up a lot of yards, a lot of points.
Yep. Ding, ding, ding.
I understand your thought process, kind of just the way that they kind of performed last week against LSU didn't meet expectations and didn't meet a lot of people's expectations, including mine. But, talk to me after today. If they don't come out and play hard today and take advantage of this opportunity, a very winnable game. I know Mississippi State has scored a lot of points, but they've given up a lot of points. So if you can get on Mississippi State early and kind of milk the clock a little bit, you get a lead on these guys. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
Yeah,
you want to keep it away from them. So, is it just what is your feeling about it as far as the game plan itself? I know Mississippi State's rolling; they've got a good offense, but does that the negative feeling you're feeling is that? I
think it's a combination of Mississippi State playing better offensively. I think it's a combination of Arkansas having its worst game of the season last week at home against LSU. And I think that this Bulldogs team believes that they're going to win this football game today. All those things are a recipe for disaster. This is a game that a lot of blame will be placed on the feet of Sam Pittman if he loses. Now, he's not going to get any credit if he wins, which I don't think is fair, but that's where this game sits right now. And if you don't win this game, you've got the Tech win, right?
Yeah.
But you're going to have to beat Ole Miss, Texas, or Missouri. You haven't been gifted a back end of the schedule like some of these other SEC conference foes. They gave you 3 ranked teams down the stretch, 2 of which you get at home, which is nice, but the other one being the Missouri Tigers, which I remind everyone, and I don't like reminding everyone, but it's true. You've never won in Columbia, Missouri, ever. So it's not easy if you don't win this football game in order to get to postseason eligibility.
Yeah, I agree. And, you could look at it from the standpoint Mississippi State might be due for a win, and I get it. They've got all the reason in the world to be amped up for this game. They have played really well offensively, and, they've scored on some good defenses is the thing. They've scored on Georgia. They've scored they've scored 30+ on Georgia and Texas A&M. So that's a cause for concern. But like I've been saying all show, though, those offenses scored a lot of points. They scored fast. I don't know. You never want to not score fast, but you kind of don't want to score too fast because this team can match you point for point, and you just want to limit their possessions, I guess, because Arkansas, let's be honest, Arkansas's offense hasn't proven to be elite. You don't want to go out there and, you're probably going to have a turnover in this game. It's just the way it's been going, but you definitely want to force a couple. That's a big thing. I think,
which they haven't done. They're like 91st in turnover margin, I believe, 90-something.
I think you don't win this game if you don't force at least.
So look at the Auburn game. You gave a few back to the Tigers, but you forced 5, so it didn't matter. So you're right. You'd like to see Arkansas football and their second true road game of the season played at the equivalent. They're playing a team equivalent to Auburn. You'd like to see the defense show up like they did. Now, that was more of a game about Travis Williams coming back home. We'll see if there's the same tenacity and eagerness in Starkville, Mississippi today when they take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. All right, so we'll look at the other games. Big C, I'm going to rattle them up. Who wins the game at Tuscaloosa between Missouri and Alabama?
Man, I'm not a huge believer in Missouri.
Okay.
Alabama has defensively looked a little better as of late, I guess. That's still a tough place to go in and get a win. and Missouri hasn't impressed me that much. This might be the
Cook's a little banged up heading into today. He's going to play, but
Yeah.
he's a little banged up. Missouri starting quarterback.
I just think maybe Alabama's kind of got that back against the wall mentality today for the first time in forever because, you got 2 losses. You can't afford to lose another game, I don't think, to get in the playoffs. So I think with all that said, I think the Alabama defense shows up today, and this Missouri offense, which is okay at times, I just don't think I don't think they're going to be able to handle that defensive line. I think it's going to be rough for Missouri Tigers to score enough to win. I think Milroe's going to have a good bounce back game. This
So
is
I'll take Alabama. I'm assuming you're taking Alabama.
Yeah, I'll
We gotta
take
kind of
Alabama.
roll through these a little bit. Auburn and Lexington taking on the Wildcats. I've got Kentucky at home.
Man, Auburn's due for a win. They let one slip away against Missouri. They
'em.
need it
Pick
the worst
'em.
way. I'm going with Auburn.
You're going Auburn in this. And LSU in College Station. I flipped 2 or 3 times this week. I'm going to flip back. Yesterday I said it was Texas A&M. I'm going to flip back to LSU. I've got the Tigers in this one.
Yeah, I think their offense is getting going, and I think their defense is also playing well. They got a lot of momentum right now. Give me the Tigers.
Sooners in Oxford, Mississippi taking on Ole Miss. Ole Miss by at least 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I got the Rebels. I don't think their defense is going to have their way with that quarterback, and they're just not going to be able to score.
All right, last game for Arkansas. Texas and Vanderbilt in Nashville. Vanderbilt 18.5-point dogs in their home venue.
Man, I've got a weird feeling about this game. Go Vandy.
Yeah, I hope you're right. And in Arkansas, I think Arkansas wins their game. They're not going to cover, but I think they pull it off against Mississippi State by 3, but it's going to be a gross football game later on today. You're going to want to claw your eyes out. You want to rip your eardrums out if you're listening to Chuck and Quinn, because there's going to be some things that happen today that tick you off. Ultimately, I think this team gets the win. Hopefully, we don't have to do a downtrodden post game with myself, Matt Jones, and Colton Little. But regardless of what happens in this game, we will be live after the game, so make sure you stay tuned to that. For now, we pass the headsets to our buddy Phil Elson, Gino Bell, and Rick Schaefer before they hand it to Quinn and Chuck. Have a great day, everybody. Arkansas, Mississippi State, kickoff 11:45.
You're listening to